Hi folks, I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness. Ted Nugent is a pigeon shooter. Ted Nugent, a supposed hunter, violates hunting ethics by shooting small birds tossed out of boxes. We've been saying it for years, but some of Nugent's supporters don't want to believe it. So we're posting this video from 1995, featuring a conversation I had with the late Barry Swanson. Mr. Swanson, who passed in 2014, was a director for Ted Nugent World Bow Hunters. Mr. Swanson and I met at the infamous Hegins pigeon shoot. While Mr. Swanson and I disagreed about many things, I did appreciate that he was civil, and it made for an interesting conversation.
You care to ask me a question?
No, what I want to do is take footage of this.
Okay. Can you
Who are you with?
Ted Nugent World Bow Hunters?
Okay. Go ahead, please. Tell us what you think.
Tell us what I think?
Sure.
I think this is an excellent event. It proves that they're taking a liability and turning it into an asset. Ask away. Can you tell me another way or a better way to deal with pigeons?
Oh, we just want to hear what you have to say about it.
I have to say, this is an excellent event. It's turning a liability into an asset. I'm with Barry Swanson. I'm a director for Ted Nugent, N-U-J-E-N-T, World Bow Hunters.
This gentleman was a shark hunter until 1990.
A shark hunter?
Yeah. He changed his views here.
I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just here to... Okay, I got it under control. I was getting a little upset. I'm here. I'm not shooting pigeons. Okay, today. This is a legal activity. Okay.
But you would shoot pigeons.
Oh, sure, and have.
All right.
It's a legal activity in the state of Pennsylvania, so no one reserves the right to physically try to stop someone from participating in that sport, I would think. Do you reserve the right to legislatively try to stop the shoot? Absolutely, you reserve that right if you do it properly and do it by the law. Do you reserve the right to protest a shoot, as you're doing in a polite, in a professional, and you're obviously intelligent and articulate manner? Yes, you do. Do you reserve the right from stopping anyone here from participating in that legal activity? You absolutely do not.
But ethically, and as a sportsman and all this, you don't have a problem with shooting little birds tossed out of a box?
Absolutely not. If you personally find shooting pigeons morally or ethically wrong, don't go where they shoot them, in my opinion. That's just a formed opinion. Don't go there. But I think you're representing yourselves here in a there's no violence there. I haven't seen any signs of it. And again, you people, I applaud you for your ability to stay united and stay focused. I'm serious. I salute you for that effort. You guys amaze me.
You've done the same thing.
Well, we've been having a harder uphill battle, and I don't want to offend any of my fellow sportsmen here. It's hard to get our side to stay focused together.
We both have the same problem.
Yeah, we probably do. It's always the same people doing the work, it seems like. You know what I mean?
Don't you think that... I'm really surprised, frankly, that Nugent and the World Bow Hunters, who are apparently trying to clean up the image of sportsmen. Would you agree with that? I mean,
yes, definitely. Definitely.
I thought I was hearing that.
Definitely,
but
without a doubt.
to participate in a pigeon shoot, to support it, it seems like an unbelievable contradiction.
I want to make sure I could say this, and I think I can. Bob Tobash or Jim Deal handy, readily available?
I don't think they'll come into this circle.
Oh, that's a shame.
You can give it a try. It's never worked before.
I brought Ted Nugent here Saturday. Okay? We were somewhere else earlier in the day and shot some pigeons and had a good time. Then we shot some foam, styrofoam 3D targets on an archery course in Forestville. This is an excellent course, by the way. And then we came out here, and he got it now as an honorary chairman of this event. By bringing Ted out here, it was a chance to see where the event's held, get a feel for how it's set up and what goes on. And one of the first things he said was when he saw where they cooked the soup, and you do know that a lot of the squab, a lot of the pigeons that can't be eaten as squab, and it's delicious, are ground up in the fertilizer to put on fields to grow crops to feed people.
This, of course,
Talk about your biodiversity.
This could be done. This could be done without popping them out of a box, going through that whole thing.
I won't challenge that.
If you
Yes.
just wanted to humanely
I won't
kill
challenge
them.
that.
Well, what do you think about the kids' participation in this? I mean, we've got these people.
I think it's excellent.
4, 5, 6,
The question
7
was, what do
years
I think about the kids or seeing this? It's
stomping,
great.
Stomping them into the ground, slamming them against the barrels repeatedly, ripping their heads off, throwing one here and one there.
I think.
Is that okay?
I think every kid, every boy and girl, every little boy and girl that eats beef, eats a chicken, should see what it takes to get that chicken on the plate. And I know that you heard this time and time again.
This is a little different.
But it's true. Them McNuggets don't have heads on them.
But it's a little different from a slaughterhouse operation. You're not tossing them up out of a box. Have little kids in there ripping their heads off, right? I mean,
That's correct.
Different.
That's correct. That's correct.
And this is, therefore, as far as the slaughter operation is unnecessary. I mean, you got to agree with that.
That it's a slaughter operation?
That as a slaughter operation, this is unnecessary compared to a slaughterhouse operation, where they, for instance, those animals by law are stunned first, and they're not put in cages and not fed or watered for days. And
what about the monies that are generated, the revenues that are generated here through this activity?
I have no problem with that.
Right.
But what I have a problem with is the method, not that they're doing it.
Right.
There's communities all over the country. Of course, everybody knows this. They're doing everything from rubber duck races to contests,
So
concerts.
You're saying we should advocate
pigeon
sport
shoots.
clay pigeons or something. What about?
I'm saying there's a ton of other things.
Okay,
like Ted Nugent coming in and throwing a concert for these people,
which will happen next year, by the way.
Really? Okay. Well, frankly, I think, and that's fine. I think when you couple that with gratuitous killing, with kids involved especially, claiming that they're diseased birds and all this, when we know that a lot of these animals are being raised in chicken-type coops, that's when you'd cross the line from a sportsman to just a gratuitous killer. And I say that as a former sportsman.
Okay, but that is, again, your formed opinion.
My formed opinion.
Right.
And I think the formed opinion of certainly the majority of the states, and even in Pennsylvania. That's what I think. I could be wrong. We're going to find out in the years to come, aren't we?
Well, I think our goals are one of the same, to ensure that all wildlife not just survives, but that it thrives. But the thing that boggles me is I'm led to believe that you people, when I say you people, your groups, don't understand that the same lands that you like to hike, bike, camp, walk your dog, whatever that activity may be, wildlife photography, cinematography, the same lands, a lot of the same lands that you like to enjoy that on are obtained and maintained through hunters' dollars.
But what we're talking about now, you're getting on.
So let's all enjoy whatever that activity is, whether it be hunting or wildlife photography or again, jogging or camping.
See, this is what I'm saying. I understand that we can get into the hunting thing, and that's fine. This ain't hunting. This is so far removed from hunting. This is so far removed from fair chase, from ethical use, from all the things that you believe in, that you say you believe in, and that I used to. It's so far removed from it that when you see most of the hunters that I've dealt with, the traditional, what I would consider or say to be the ethical hunters, they find this appalling. And since Ted and his bow hunters are supposed to be like leading the charge on ethics,
that's why we're here in support of this event, and that's why Ted came here Saturday.
Where's the fair chase?
It's not a question of fair chase.
It should always be a question.
I got to keep reverting back to it, and I know you don't want it. You said you agree with it. It's turning a liability into an asset.
Oh no, I don't. No. I don't.
Oh, you didn't agree?
I agree with you. Raising. I don't think there's anything wrong with the neighborhood raising money. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, do it. Do it to your heart's content as much as you can raise. But the way you do it, the country finds this offensive. Every newspaper, with the exception of the Citizen Standard, that's written something about this. I take that back. Philadelphia Inquirer too, which is quite a departure for them. But yeah, everybody's written against it. Letters to the editor around the state,
so
overwhelmingly against it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
With the overpopulation of the wing rat in the cities, pigeons, I won't call them a wing rat anymore. how do you propose that they deal with that problem, which is a serious problem? And poisoning programs, what about the endangered species?
Yeah, so with pigeon shoots having gone on for decades and decades in Pennsylvania, you're suggesting that there is still a pigeon problem.
You don't think there is?
Okay, what I'm telling you...
Yes, I'm suggesting that my personal feelings are there is a big problem. I travel around a lot with my regular work, and I get into some bigger cities. And I went up to a police officer in Pittsburgh, and I said, I can't believe all these pigeons. Do they let you shoot them? And he said, no. And I thought, why? Why not?
In Illinois, we had pigeon shoots. I got knocked out about 2.5, getting on 3 years ago. Okay? That was the same argument they meant there. They said, what will happen when we have a pigeon problem now? Think about what it'll be if there's not pigeon shoots. And I said that was ridiculous. And almost 3 years later, there's no more pigeons now than there was then.
The recording of our conversation, which continued for a time longer, was ended when a battery died. The point I was making was simply that a pigeon shoot is not a way to deal with any perceived pigeon overpopulation issue, because at least 10% of the birds escape and establish new populations. The fact is that pigeon shoots don't reduce the population, they increase them. As Mr. Swanson basically admits, Ted Nugent is not the ultimate hunter. Rather, he is just an animal serial killer, shooting birds tossed up out of boxes, birds that will never be eaten, that will be burned or buried as garbage. I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness.
Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video. You can subscribe to our channel to see more of our investigations and learn what you can do to help Shark help animals. To support Shark directly and gain access to exclusive content, consider sponsoring us on Patreon.